Welcome to Tilted Crown. This will be our first series, our first installment of our energy series. And yeah, we'll just get started. So, the name of this particular episode is Getting Back to the G in You. Self reconstruction begins here, locating your original signal beneath survival identity. Misalignment isn't confusion, it's what you haven't learned to name yet. What's really going on with you? Like, really? Do you know it? Can you name it? Oh my god, a ladybug. I'm a keep it. Do you speak its language? How can we help you figure that out if the answer to your question, to those questions, is you don't know? So, a way that I would suggest getting to the answer of those questions would be to think about a moment from your childhood that left a really happy mark, a moment where you really felt free. Did you think about it? Okay, hold that moment in your mind. What was really going on with you then? Do you know it? Can you name it? And do you speak its language at this point in your life? So we should have two variations. We should have the response to those questions from a from the adult standpoint of you hearing them for the first time, and then we should have a variation of you having thought about that moment in your childhood where you had a really happy spot. There was a moment that you felt really free, and then think about what was going on with you. Did you know it? Could you name it? And did you speak its language? And can you tie those two together at this point? What you'll find is there's usually a separation. Some type of way we get some type of way along the way we get separated from that inner knowing as a child and that inner feeling as a child, because we become bogged down by the things of adult life, bills, children, society, culture, family, all of those things from the point of us being children and going over into adult eventually begins to shape us, sometimes for the worse, sometimes for the better. Sometimes it erodes us. Sometimes, I mean, and of course, all times it builds us, but it's basically an adventure. Which leads me to this question: who were you before the world suggested who you should be? And world meaning as in family, society, and external structures, because the external structures shape and reshape your internal structures. And so we have it there where you have those, you think about that happy place in that childhood moment where you felt really free, where you probably were really in tune with what was going on with you. When, if I asked you that question when you were a child, you could answer it really nicely or really easily. Did you know it then? Can you name it? And did you speak its language? And then you have the adult version of you that's asked that same question. That's basically what your energy is. right? So you have that thing that's in you, that's connected to you, and that child that's connected to that child, where you can connect to it really quickly. So I don't have to think long and hard as a child about what makes me happy, what I enjoy, and what's really going on with me in moments where I'm happy. It's simple. I'm happy. And I'm happy because of whatever it is that I may say. As an adult, when you ask someone what's really going on with them, it changes the dynamic a little bit. That ladybug is bothering me. I don't know where it just went. So, the funny thing is, who you are, what's really deep down inside of there, is probably everything that people have accused you of being that wasn't like them. I'll give an example. I'm born and raised outside of Chicago. And who I was then as a child in my freedom was basically a nerd. I loved to learn. I loved education. I loved everything that came with reading books, expanding my mind. But I didn't grow up in a neighborhood where that was celebrated. And so over time, it reshaped who I was. I became a product of my environment, meaning that I didn't pick my books up so much. I needed to watch videos because I wanted to keep up with what was current. So when I would go to school and everybody at school would be talking about what was going on with the latest videos or the latest music or the latest fashion, that I was plugged into that. So who was I before the world made a suggestion about who I should be, and who I was after that? And so do the same thing for yourself. Sit with that. Who were you before the suggestions started coming? What did you love that didn't fit the room that you were in? What parts of you got quiet because the environment couldn't hold them? That's the thing that rattles your energy. It's who I became in spite of who I was. And maybe not in spite. Maybe saying in spite of who I was isn't the best thing, but who did I have to stop being so that I could be more accepted, more tolerable, so that I could blend in more? And the process of becoming that person puts you in survival mode and takes you away from your energy. And that's the whole concept of this episode. Getting back to the G in you. The thing that you felt when you went back there into your childhood memory. That's the G. That's that signal. And here's what happened to it. Survival became your operating system. Adaptation became personality. Your inner G didn't disappear. It became buried or parked. Not destroyed, just pushed to the side. Misalignment isn't confusion. It's what you haven't learned to name yet. You are always crowned. You just have to learn how to stand under it correctly. And in the process of learning how to stand under it correctly, every now and then my crowns become a little tilted. I like that. Thanks for participating in our first episode of Tilted Crown, Block 1 of our Energy series. Peace.